Big Safe.
Fat Man Scoop, Brooklyn Clan. What's up, y'all? This is Fat Man Scoop. And right now, you watching the sensei, the number one, the king, my dude, Big Brando. He taught me, personally, me, Fat Man Scoop. All you gotta do is keep your mouth closed and your ears open. Listen to the man talk. That's knowledge personified right there. And I wouldn't trust nobody else but my dude, Big Brando. And I said it. Fat Man Scoop, Big Brando. Let's go.
What's happening, everybody? Boy Big Brando, and today let's talk about gatekeeping. Now, this is a term thrown around very loosely around this t-shirt industry, especially for the people that make t-shirt related content. See it in the comments all the time. Where do you buy your blank t-shirts from? What's the name of that font? Where do you buy your transfers from? Who does your embroidery? Who does your digitizing? Let me get the information of your graphic designer. Where do you buy your poly mailers from? Where do you buy your boxes from? Who do you use for shipping? Where do you buy your vinyl from? The list goes on. I understand this because I'm creating t-shirt related content on YouTube to provide information to anybody out there wanting to get into this business. If you ever looked in the description box of my videos, everything is there listed for you. Links to heat presses, embroidery machines, transfer companies, vinyl companies. If you ever wanted custom fonts that you have to pay for that aren't on the free font sites, the link is there. You have to do a little bit of work, click the description box and look at every single link I have on there. Shipping supplies, mock-ups and layouts. The homie Odyssey Rock makes dope mock-ups, makes dope layouts, makes dope templates. I don't get paid by him. He doesn't pay me to put his link in my description box. He does dope work, so I put his link there to help anybody out. Everything from pre-made templates to mock-ups to design layouts, it's there. Where to get custom fonts, it's there. Graphic designer, these are just graphic designers that I think do dope work, so I put their information in the description box. None of them pay me to do it, none of them ask me to do it. I just think they do dope work. People always ask me for a graphic designer. The links are there. Information is in the description box. So for the people that like to throw around the term gatekeeper, this whole channel is basically busting down the gates for you, where people start to get like really mad and annoyed and irritated with my channel is if I don't respond to a comment and somebody says, hey, where do you buy your transfers from? The information's already in the description box. I say it in almost every video. The information's there. If you don't click the description box, that's on you. The information's there. I told you where it's at. If you don't do it, then that's on you. People will leave a comment that says, hey, where'd you buy those transfers from? Hey, where'd you get that puff vinyl from? The information's there already. I get a lot of those questions all the time. I don't have time to go back and forth with a bunch of people asking the same exact questions. That's why I put it all in the description box for people. And if I don't answer that comment, the next comment that follows up is stop gatekeeping. It's people like you that keep people like us from getting started. The whole channel is based around providing the information for you. So to consider me a gatekeeper is pretty crazy. But I understand there's a sense of entitlement from people that watch YouTube videos. They think we as content creators need to hold your hand the whole step of the way. You feel since you watch the videos, we owe you something. We owe you the link. We owe you a comment back. We owe you something. That's not how this works, man. We're providing the information. Whatever you do with that information is on you. But don't expect somebody to hold your hand through this whole process, especially in this t-shirt business. If you can't walk on your own too, you are not cut out for this business. If you are waiting for information to be handed to you, you are not cut out for this business. If you don't have that go-getter mentality of, let me figure this part out, let me see how I could get this going for myself, then maybe this business is not for you. And I say that because there's so many people out here that come to YouTube for the information. And some people just want the information just to have the information and not even use it. Some people want a list of all the plugs for t-shirts, transfers, equipment, graphic designers, fonts, everything. And they're not even gonna use it. They just want it just to have it, to say they have it, but it's not like they're gonna actually use it. And there's a lot of people out there that are doing that. They might have the idea in their head that they wanna get started, and the excuse is, all right, I just wanna make sure I get all my ducks in a row. I wanna get all the information ready to go before I get started, and then never get started. A lot of times people hit me up, hey, what font is that? And they think it's just a free font they could download, and I tell them, they look it up, and then they find out you gotta pay $50, $100 to license that font. Like, oh, no, I don't want that. Well, why you ask for it then? You know what I mean? For myself, shit ain't free. We're helping helping you guys out by providing the information for free, but we can't do all the work for you. If you want to find dope fonts that not a lot of people are using that you have to pay for, the link is there. Scroll through the fonts and find them. That's all I do. I'm sitting behind the computer screen looking at fonts like, oh man, that's kind of cool, I could use that. Oh, that one's kind of cool, I could use that. Let me pay for these so I could bang out some t-shirts. That's all I'm doing. I can't do that work for you. I can't look for fonts for you. I'm sending you to the place that has all the cool fonts. You have to do a little bit of work and scroll through all the fonts and find something that you want to use. I can't hand pick stuff and say, all right, you know what, you should use this one. You know what, this is the one that I like, so you should be using it too. You have to do a little bit of the work yourself. Same goes for blank t-shirts. I talk about this all the time. I'll tell you guys, create accounts with SNS, TSC Apparel, I don't even know if they're around anymore, Mission Imprintables, Sanmar, Alpha Broder, all of these third-party suppliers. I just named off like 5. You could create accounts with all 5 of those. Now you have backups for the backups for the backups when ordering t-shirts, right? If you didn't want to get your wholesale license to create accounts with all of these people, I can't help you with that. And I get there's a lot of people like, oh, I don't want to get my wholesale license because whatever reason. You got any other t-shirt plugs for the people that don't have wholesale licenses? And I tell them, go to downtown LA, because when I didn't have a wholesale license, that's where I was going. I wasn't shopping online. I wasn't doing any of that. I was just going out and finding the stuff myself. That's all you have to do. And I get some people don't live in Los Angeles. So if you don't live in Los Angeles, you're going to have to find other ways. But this is the way I did it. That's the information that I could share. When I didn't have my wholesale license, I would go to the swap meet and buy blank t-shirts at the swap meet. And I'd buy like a dozen or 2 dozen at a time. I would go to the same Korean lady that sold t-shirts, and weekly, I was always buying t-shirts from her. What I'm doing is I'm adding value to that lady's business, and I'm building trust with that lady. So when I come up to her and say, hey, you know what? I actually need 200 t-shirts. I know she doesn't have the 200 t-shirts in the sizes I need in her little booth in the swap meet. So I say, hey, how can I do this? She tells me, all right, you're gonna go here. This is where you could buy the t-shirts from, but you have to buy a minimum of 250 or 300, whatever the minimum is. This is what the place is called. They'll be able to help you out. This is how I started to find my suppliers. This is no secret to anybody. Anybody could do this. But I didn't just approach her and just keep asking for her connections. I didn't approach her and just say, hey, you know what? I know you're buying your stuff wholesale from somewhere. Give me that information. I shopped with that lady for a while. But I knew I had to build the trust with that lady. I had to build a relationship with her before she gave me any information. And I'm paying retail for the stuff. But what I was doing was I was buying her trust so she could actually eventually hook me up. I didn't just go out there with my hand out and said, hey, give me the information. You don't know me, I don't know you, but I know you're getting it from somewhere. This is the work that I had to put in to find out who I can buy from. And that spot is still a spot that I use till this day. And that spot is very, very selective on who they work with. So it does come with the cosign. And this is how a lot of spots are. But you got to play by their rules, right? If they say you have to order 200, 300 as the minimum, so be it. It's like when I tell people go to downtown LA to the fashion district and I'm telling you exactly where to go. And I'm like, all right, check it out. You're going to go on Main Street, north of the 10 freeway. If this is the 10 freeway, this is Main Street, north of the 10 freeway. Park your car, walk. You're gonna find vendors and suppliers everywhere, both sides of the street, door after door after door. There's a bunch of them over there. You can find everything from bags to luggage to socks to underwear, hats, beanies, t-shirts, long sleeve shirts, tank tops, jerseys, jackets, you name it, it's there. Mannequins, glass cases, display cases, grid walls, poly mailers, boxes, anything that has to do with your business can be found here on Main Street. I'm giving you the information on where to go, but that's still not enough for a lot of people. Like, all right, well, there's so many vendors, which one do you go to? I've shopped at all of those vendors before. I've used them all because they're all there. It's accessible to everybody. But still, people are like, well, which one do you go? There's so many, I don't know which one to use. Walk into one and say, hey man, do you guys sell these t-shirts? No? Walk into the next one. You sell all style here. Walk into the next one. This is what I'm looking for. That's all I did. That's all you have to do. But that's still not enough. So I'll tell people, all right, go to MTX or MXT. It's this one right here on the corner. Go check them out. They go over there. It doesn't work out for them. They come back and be like, hey, can you hit them up and let them know that I'm coming through and blah, blah, blah. This is what I'm trying to buy. I'm like, no, I can't do that for you. 1, I don't know you personally. 2, I'm not going to co-sign somebody that I don't know personally. And 3, if they didn't want to work with you, I have no business within their business. I can't change their mind. If they don't want to work with you, that's because they don't want to work with you. There's nothing I could say to make them work with you. If they don't want to work with you, go to the next spot, directly next door. If they don't want to work with you, go to the next one. Go across the street. Hit up every single one. That's what I did. So that's all you guys have to do. I'm leading you to the location to buy anything blank related that you wanted to, but I cannot hold your hand and go to every store with you and talk for you. You guys got to do it yourself. That's what a lot of people don't really understand. It's because they have the sense of entitlement because they watch the videos and they're consuming the content, but they want the information laid out for them. They want somebody to do all the work for them. We as content creators cannot do that. We're providing the information and you have to do a little bit of the work to get the job done. If you cannot do that work, I can't help you. And maybe you got to rethink the whole business, because if you can't speak for yourself, or if you don't have a go-getter's mentality to get out here and get shit done, maybe this business isn't for you. For myself, if I get a little sliver of information, I'm gonna build off that information to see if it's gonna work in my favor. It's crazy that I have to make this video, but at the same exact time, I understand where a lot of this comes from. Like I said, that sense of entitlement of you watching the videos, you feel that the person providing the information needs to provide more information in greater detail for you. And I also get that you want to shop with somebody that's already had a personal experience at that place, so you know that you're going to a reputable spot. I understand that part too. But if you're very timid on having a door slammed on your face, or somebody not wanting to work with you, or even walking up and actually knocking on doors to talk to people, that's where Alpha Broder, SNS, and these other places are a safer bet for you. The information is there. I'm telling you, you don't have to shop exactly where I shop if you are scared to talk to the people or scared to find suppliers on your own. Use the safe bets. SNS, TSC, Mission Imprintables, Sandmore, all of these spots. There's even a link for it in my description box. These are the safe bets. These are the ones that you guys can use. People hear me going to warehouses in downtown LA and doing all this stuff, and they kind of get brave and they want to do it too, but then are still kind of scared to even get out here and get their feet wet. I get it. Play the safe route and just use the third-party suppliers that are online, where you don't have to interact with anybody. You just create the account, place the order, get it shipped to you. Easy call. There's nothing wrong with that. But don't get mad if I tell you a certain place in downtown LA or Compton or Carson or Gardena or wherever, of a place that I go to, and those people don't want to work with you, or you can't find the spot, or you don't have a point of contact at that spot. Do a little bit of the work. Knock on the doors. Not everything is done online. Kind of got to be savvy with how you speak and understanding that part of the game. Cash speaks. Show up with cash in hand. Create the relationships for yourself. You know what I mean? That's all I did. And no secret. I wasn't leveraging a YouTube following. I wasn't leveraging any kind of popularity or any of that. I walk into these places and I just talk to them. They want to work with me? Cool. If they don't want to work with me, so be it. Is it the end of the world? No. I'll go to the next spot. Next spot doesn't want to work with me? Cool. I'll go across the street. You can't be scared to have a door closed in your face. You can't be scared of rejection. You can't be scared if somebody doesn't want to work with you. You can't even take it personal. If I go into somewhere and I'm like, man, I'm trying to buy, 150 shirts, and they're like, nah, my minimum is 300. I can't be mad at that. I'm like, man, why don't you want to take my money? I'm trying to buy 150 shirts. 150 shirts might be big to me, but it might be small potatoes to that business. And they might have accounts coming in there buying 500 to 1,000 units. So for them to piece together a small, measly 150, it's a waste of their time. I can't be mad at that. So imagine going somewhere where they're used to doing 300, 500 t-shirts, and you come in and say, man, I'm trying to get 2 dozen. And they say, nah, we don't deal like that. And then now you get mad and you take it personal. Well, Big Brando on YouTube comes here, so how come I can't shop here? They don't give a shit about no Big Brando on YouTube. They care about units. They care about selling the t-shirts. And if majority of their clientele is coming in to buy 300, 400 pieces, piecing together a small little 2 dozen is a waste of their time. You get what I'm saying? I could tell you every single spot that I go to, but I cannot hold your hand and do all the work for you. If you wanted any of that information, check it out in the description box. If you got any questions on this, because I know there's going to be a lot of questions and there's going to be a lot of thumbs down on this video because it's not the information they were hoping for. Leave it all in the comments, good or bad. Follow me on Instagram, Big Brando TV. And if you needed information for anything, man, check the description box. It's there. It's the same every single time. All of my videos has the same links in the box, laid out for you. All right? Catch you guys on the next one, man. Yeah.